What is going on YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. Now in tonight's video we're going to be talking about the clown loaches, so let's get straight on the video. So yes, tonight's video is going to be all about the clown loaches, but let's go outside in the fish room and I'm going to show you my smaller clown loaches first. These are all my smaller loaches I've got, so I think I've got about 10 or 11 in here, something like that. I've got 9 small ones, 9 really small ones. You can see how small they are compared to my hand. Like, they're tiny little things. They were probably half the size of that when I first got them. And I've got 2 other big ones just down the back there, which got given to me from a good mate of mine from Instagram, Sandy Discus. So if you're on Instagram, go and follow him. He's got a great page. So we actually did a swap. He swapped me them 2 medium-sized loaches for a couple of bush-nosed plecos a few months ago now, and they're doing absolutely fantastic in this tank. So if you're watching this, mate, doing all good. But yeah, these are the smaller loaches. This is how big you'll sort of see them in the shops, this sort of size. There will be smaller ones in the shops as well, probably half the size of this. And they take years and years to grow. So you need to be really careful with that. So they're one of the slowest growing fish you can ever buy. Honestly, they take so long to grow. The loaches I've got in my monster tank outside in, sorry, what am I on about? In my lounge. They're like 10 years old. I've had them from fish this sort of size, you know, or even smaller, and they take so long to grow. Honestly, you can't go out and buy these fish thinking, oh, I'm going to put them straight in with my arowanas and my Oscars, my baby Oscars or whatever, because all that happens, the Oscars are to overtake, and so are the arowanas, and all of this lot here just go missing. You'll never see them again. They just sort of be lunch. But I just wanted to show you how small these fish are at first, because obviously you've seen my big ones out there, and yeah, just doing a bit of comparison. But anyway, I'll stop going on out here and we'll go out back to the monster tank and have a look at my big boy loaches. But this is how big they get. They do get bigger than this as well, but look at the size of that big fat chunky one I've got at the back there. Look, it's a monstrous fish. And they'll tell you what, they've got a massive appetite as well with these fish. We'll do a good feed with them tonight. I'll show you what I'm going to feed them. So first of all, let's talk about tank sizes. So as you've seen out there, I've got a lot smaller clown loaches. You could probably keep him like a 100 litre tank, 200 litre tank for a few years or so, well maybe a year, couple of years. And then you want to sort of think about getting like a 5 foot or 4 foot tank, something like this. This is a 4 foot tank behind us. You could keep a nice shoal in there for now, but eventually they're going to need definitely a 6 foot plus tank, you know. Look at the size of this fish here. Look how long it is compared. It's probably as long as that, you know. Look, I'll put my hand up against it. So they're going to need big tanks. You need to make sure if you're going to buy these fish, you need to think later on, I need to invest in a bigger tank, you know. They do like filtration as well. They need good filtration. Obviously I've got my FX6s on this tank. They're doing a fantastic job of cleaning this tank. What else they need? They need a substrate. They do love sieving through sand all day long. Look, as you can see, my sand bed's nice and clear because of these guys, you know. They go through picking all little bits up, all little bits of dead fish, like from the frozen fish, all old bits of food, like from the Algae Wafers when the arowana smash it up. So they love a substrate. You could probably keep them in a tank with no substrate, but personally I would say have like a substrate, like a sand. You can keep them with stones, but yeah, I always keep them with sand. As you can see, look, they're all like sort of sieving through it. That's what I enjoy doing. Another weird thing about these fish is when you feed them, they make a really weird clicking noise, you know. Make it sort of, it's hard to actually make the noise. My little boy's actually got a toy in his toy box over here somewhere, which makes a very similar noise. But when you're sitting there at night watching telly and you've chucked a massive courgette in there, it's quite weird, the noise. You think, what the hell's going on? But obviously it's the clown loaches, and I know that now. But yeah, I've got a lovely show of loaches here, you know. They're probably worth a fair bit of money, my fish that are in here, because when you're in shops you rarely see a fish this sort of size, and if you do, you're going to be paying a good small fortune for it, because like I say, they are very rare to get this sort of size. But what have we covered? Filtration, love filtration, tank mates. As you can see, you know what tank mates I've got in this tank, you know what tank mates I've got in the smaller tank out there. So it all depends on how big the fish are, because obviously they can fit, the arowanas could probably fit one of these in their mouths, you know, but the arowanas know these fish, and I don't think they'll actually go for them. But when I kept the bass, I had the Temensis bass, the mono and the Reno bass in this tank. The Temensis were actually going for my clown loaches, so that's why I decided to get rid of the bass as well, because I didn't want to lose my loaches. I've had them for years, you know, they're quite sentimental. And yeah, just tank mates, just be a bit careful. Obviously, you want, if you've got big fish like this, you want to get the biggest loach you can find. But if the arowanas or the Oscars haven't ever lived with a loach, they might not like it and they might actually go for them. So be careful with that. Let's talk about water parameters. So water parameters for these guys, be honest, yeah, they just like clean water. Just make sure, if they're in a shop in RO, just wean them off it. You know, bring them back, put them in your tank with the exact same tank water they had in the shop. Then just sort of wean them off it. Do like a 20% water change every day, and start weaning them off the RO. Get them into your normal tap water. And the fish I've got in here, they're in like 7.6 pH in this tank. I don't put any fancy stuff in this tank. I just do a water conditioner. I do a 60% water change every week, which keeps the water nice and crystal clear. Keeps all the fish happy. So yeah, I've never really worried about water parameters with the loaches. They're not very fussy. Some other people out there have struggled with like fussiness with these fish, with the water parameters, but no, I ain't got really worry at all about them. That's what I found anyway. They are very sociable fish, so you don't want to keep one of them on their own. You want to keep them in packs of at least 4, you know. You can see right now all of these ones are sticking together nicely. They're just sort of shoulder round, and it probably actually helps them evade them from the predators, because the predators think they're like one big fish, so they're not going to go near them. But there's a big old boy there which is just hanging out on his own, but he will hang with the pack in a minute. They sort of come in and out, but they do sort of hang together most of the day. So if you're going to buy these fish, sort of buy them in 4 and 5, something like that. Don't buy them on their own or in 2s. They do need to be together. They're very sociable fish. So that's another thing to keep in mind if you're going to buy these fish. But when you buy them from the shops, you can get them pretty cheap, you know. The ones I've got out there, actually, I got from Pets at Home. I think I paid about £7 each, like that, 6 quid each, something like that. So you can get them quite cheap. And as you can imagine, they're very slow growing fish, but when they're big specimens like this, they're worth a lot of money. You'll probably pay like 60 to 80, maybe even 100 quid. You'll probably pay more for that big boy one there. So yeah, they're very expensive fish when they're big, but obviously that one there, that big fat one I keep pointing at, one of my first fish I've ever bought, he is over 10 years old now, so it's a long process. And if you want the fish to get big fast, it's not going to happen, trust me. No matter how much food you're going to chuck in there, they just take years and years to grow. But let's get on to the feeding anyway. So feeding, these guys, they love a lot of vegetables. I give them courgette, I give them all sorts of bits. They love mussels as well. White bait, it gets smashed up by the arowanas, all the little bits float to the bottom. They love all that. And the big boy ones take the mussels into the cave here and they smash up the mussels in there. So they do need a balanced diet. It's not all vegetables, you need to give them meat as well. And another good thing I give them, we actually do a feed them here, and I'll show you what I'm actually going to feed them. So in there I've got my big massive bags of Hikari pellet, which I've got in there. I do a bit of a mixture. I do, well, I'll show you in a minute. I do algae wafer, what's it called, food sticks, and mass carnivore pellets. So I just sort of knock it all up together. Every single fish in here eats it, no one's fussy, and they're all getting 3 different types of food in one hit. That's why this arowana is so big. I've seen Asian arowanas in a lot of people's tanks. I've never ever seen an Asian arowana this big. It's massive, it's absolutely chunky. Look how big it is against my hand. So in the photos and stuff I put up on Instagram, it doesn't actually show how big the fish is, but it's a monstrous fish, this is. My silver's not the biggest I've seen. There's lots of bigger silvers out there, but this is definitely the biggest Asian. And yeah, it's all to do with the food up there, which I put in there basically, the pellets. All to do with pellet food. But anyway, let's get some food knocked up, and I'll do a feed for you as well. Now, I forgot to say, before we're going to do the feed, let me show you my marine tank. We've got some different stuff coming with it. So yeah, I'm going to be closing this down and we're going to turn it into a freshwater tank. It's a big old tank, it's 4 foot. It's 550, 560 litres with the sun. I think the tank itself is 400 litres, so it's a big setup. But what should we put in there? Because I'm turning it into a freshwater tank. Should we go for like snakeheads? Should we put flower horn in there? Should we go Malawi cichlids? I don't know what sort of go for it, but I'm going to move this tank right back there so my boy's got a little bit more room to play with around here. Because obviously I've got loads of tanks and stuff in the house tonight as well, so I've got to be a bit careful. But yeah, let us know in the comments below what we should put in this tank. Yeah, I'm thinking like snakeheads or a big old boy flower horn, but yeah, so let us know what you guys think. But anyway, let's knock up some food and I'll throw it in and I'll show you the loach is actually eating. So this is the food I use. It's just massive bags of hokari. Look, I've got algae wafers in this one, food sticks in this one, floating food sticks, and then this one here is massive delights. It's like a carnivore pellet. It's got, I can't remember how many goldfish they said they blended up in this or something. It says somewhere, but yeah, it's good stuff. It's full of nutrients and vitamins and minerals and everything. So basically what I do, get a handful of it like that, put that in there. That's probably enough. Go for more. So a handful of that in there like that. Zip that bag back up. And we get the food sticks. Always make sure you zip these bags up, because I've done it before, and you go to grab the other bag from here and you end up knocking this thing over, and so all of that there will be all over your floor. Trust me, you don't want to be doing it. Be clearing it up with a dustpan and brush, end up getting dust and stuff in your food for your fish. It's just one of the annoying things. And this is actually a new one. I ran out last couple of days, so I bought a new one to come today. So let's open this up. So these are the algae wafers in here, which is how much it's love. So that's the size of the algae wafers, like that sort of size. Let's throw a few of them in there. I do normally fill this thing to the brim. So we've got a mixture in there. We've got the Carnivore Delight, whatever you call it, Max Delight at the bottom. Then we've got the food sticks, floating sticks in the middle. And then we've got the algae wafers on top. And then basically what I do, well, I'll show you, I just open up the glass lid, just throw it all in, and they just go mad for it. It's slippery stuff. Now I keep it in this little thing as well, because I used to keep this on the floor, and he keeps coming down, pulling these open and stuff, so I'm keeping this on top of there at the moment, so out of reach. So let's just go and chuck this whole thing in. So that's that whole tub chucked in. The Asian took like literally a whole mouthful of it, you can see, look. So he'll go around now just crushing it up. Most of it come out his gills and that. But you can see the loaches going round, tearing into some of the algae wafer. And then all the little bits as well, which he's going to smash up, they're eating, so with the silver dollars as well. But look, you can see how mad they go for all this food, look. I better close the lid, don't I? Don't want a silver arrow on my floor, do I? You see the silver dollars as well, they're eating all the carnivore pellets. He's still got a mouthful of food, still chomping that up. So yeah, they just get a good old mixture of food. Look, you can see that clown loach at the back has got one of those carnivore pellets. So they've just got a good old mixture. There's three different types of food. There's obviously meat going in there, fish, vegetables and all sorts of bits, so just keeps it all nice and healthy, and there's garlic and all sort of stuff in the food, so, and spirulina. But that's basically it, that's what I feed them. Obviously they get the courgette and other vegetables in the week and stuff as well, and mussels and bits. But this is what keeps them healthy. You can feed them prawns and stuff as well, give them prawns and krill. Krill's pretty good apparently, I've never done it, but apparently it's really good. But that's it. But anyway, thanks for watching the video as always, guys. Like and subscribe my channel, ding the notification bell, and keep it real, everyone.